there's nothing worse than getting swept out of a doubleheader. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Stats to a video cast recapping last night's second game of doubleheader between the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets as the Phillies lose 4-0 to the Mets and get swept out of another doubleheader. This Phillies team is just treacherous in these doubleheaders, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, forget about that doubleheader sweep of the Blue Jays last year in 2020. I mean, they are just terrible in doubleheaders. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So, I'm just going to jump right off the bat, right? I mean, you see the production the Phillies have gotten in center field this season, and it's just been atrocious. It's been insanely terrible. Roman Quinn, you saw the bonehead decisions that he made in Game 1, right? I mean, I don't understand that play at third base. I still do not get getting tagged out there. He was safe, and then he comes off the bag, and then Adam Hazley, let's say, a line drive drop right in front of him. I mean, our production in center field, defensively and offensively, has been treacherous, around like a 130 batting average out there combined between those two guys, and it's just terrible, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's just like something needs to be done. I mean, why not Mick? I mean, Odubel's still out there, right? I think so, a change needs to be made here. I mean, it's just like, I'm so tired of watching these two guys hit, and Adam Hazley I could tolerate a little bit more than I can Roman Quinn. Roman Quinn just isn't it, ladies and gentlemen. I talked about it last night, recapping the first game. He just isn't it, and Aaron Nola just was not very sharp in this one, but we have no offense, none whatsoever. Didi Gregorius extends his hit streak, but other than that, Bryce Harper had an on-base streak, got on reach base safely every single game so far this season. That comes to an end last night in the second game, so just other than that, man, I mean, not much out of this Phillies offense other than the Didi Gregorius. He was extending his hit streaks. That was really, really nice to see. But Alec Boehm's starting to heat up. You saw that more in the first game. But there's nothing worse than getting smacked with a double L. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than that. It's just not a good feeling to get slapped with that double L, and I just hate losing. I hate it. Now we're in second place, ladies and gentlemen, with a 6-5 record. Let's jump right into the scoring summary. In the bottom of the fourth inning, there was no offense until Jonathan Villar, batting with a couple runners on. He doubles on a line drive to center field, and Jeff McNeil scores. And the Mets now take a 1-0 lead. So Aaron Nola, he was starting to lose it around that time. He seemed like he still was. The Mets are good at drawing walks. They just are, but seemed like he was starting to lose it around that bottom fourth inning, and things are not getting any better from there on out, right? And then Brandon Nimmo in the same inning singles on a sharp line drive to right field. Kevin Pillar and Jonathan Villar score, and it's now 3-0 New York, so they extend their lead now 3-0. This is going to be, I mean, this is no offense. There's just none. I mean, the Mets are, I mean, their offense hasn't, it wasn't like we got blown out 8-0. I mean, still a 4-0 ball game, but I mean, there's no offense out of this Phillies team. None. There's no heart. It's just, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing out of this team. Brandon Nimmo, he's getting on base. You saw the RBI single, so he is a Philly killer, too. There's a lot of guys in this Met team who love to hurt the Phillies. Then in the bottom of the sixth inning, Brandon Nimmo, again, he singles on a line drive to right field. Thomas Nido scores, and it's now 4-0 New York, and the Mets would go on to win by that score. 4-0 your final, as the Phillies get swept out of a doubleheader again. They get swept out again. I've never seen a team play so poorly in doubleheaders, and they should have won the first game. I'm not going to keep going back to that first game, but the second game wouldn't have been as painful. The loss definitely wouldn't have been as painful if we would have won that first game. So now doubleheaders are just not really that fun to watch to begin with. But the process in just one day. There's 2 games in one day. It's a lot to process, especially when your team is just flat out pathetic in doubleheaders, right? I mean, that makes it so much worse. It makes it all the more worse. And Aaron Nola, I'm going to say it again, Aaron Nola just was not sharp in this one. We saw Spencer Howard came up, and he's back up in the big leagues now. It's nice to see. I forgot to talk about that. And welcome back, right? I mean, Brandon Nimmo with that RBI single, I mean, that was just a shame. But, I mean, Spencer Howard, I mean, the injuries are a bit of an issue with him, right? And we saw that last year. If he could just stay healthy, this guy, I mean, he's our top prospect, right? If you're wondering why he's still considered a top prospect, is because he didn't play enough Major League games to be taken out of that consideration. I consider our most valuable asset to be Bryson Scott. You know, he's technically our number 3 prospect. Mikey Abella is number 2, but honestly, I kind of consider Bryson Scott to be like my favorite prospect. But Spencer Howard, man, it's just like ever since he's been up to the big leagues, you saw it last year, you saw it this year, just not the greatest. It's just not the greatest out of Spencer Howard. But Andrew McCutchen gets the second game off after just a pitiful game 1. Matt Joyce let out the ball game. Did get one knock, but Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper combined 0 for 6 in the second game. We need more production out of those two. Rhys Hoskins, he's just a much better hitter at home, but you gotta hit on the road too. And might I add, Bryce Harper has yet to homer at Citi Field as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. Did anyone know that? I thought of that last night. I don't think Harper's homered at Citi Field as a member of the Phillies. I know he did it back in his time with Washington, so it's been since 2018. Yeah, 2018 since Bryce Harper's homered at Citi Field when he was a member of the Washington Nationals. So it's crazy, right? He's yet to homer at Citi Field as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. JT, the BCIB, collecting an album, looks so much better. I did get one knock. Didi Gregorius extends his hit streak. You love to see that. Now 11 games. Didi Gregorius, I understand yesterday was a really, really rough day for Phillies baseball. Didi Gregorius, this guy is just awesome. I'm a huge Didi fan. I think you all know that. You could take away a few bright spots, Didi Gregorius. That's definitely one of them. But it's somewhat overshadowed because of the fact how bad he is out in the, playing defense, right? That's shortstop. Not turning double plays. That needs to stop. He just needs to relax and just turn those double plays. He needs to stop trying to be the hero. You saw he tried to turn the 6-3 double play yesterday. Didn't work out for him too well. He tried to take the bag himself. He should have just flipped it to Gene. Instead, he just, that was in the first game. I don't want to keep talking about the first game, but just going back there. Gene Segura, speaking of Gene Segura, also gets a knock last night. It wasn't like, our situational hitting run scoring position is treacherous as well, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot hit a run scoring position. It's just it blows my mind how bad we are with our situational hitting. Adam Hazley, talked about it before, right? That's a line drive drop right in front of him. I just don't understand how bad. It looks like the 2018 Phillies out there. Remember how bad they were defensively in 2018? It's just like the bad news Bears out there, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. What is going on out there? What in the world is going on out there? Joe Girardi seriously needs to consider making a change out there. We need some pressure on David Dombrowski. Joe Girardi's just working with what he's got. Dave Dombrowski, you got to do something there. I'm so tired of going outside the organization. It's really a shame. It's a shame because, in the words of the Spinners, right? You know the song. It's a shame because Adam Hazley, and he's a homegrown talent, right? We've drafted him, we scouted him, it's a shame because we just can't seem to really develop him. He's getting all these injuries, and then when he does get playing time, he just doesn't seem to get it together fully. So the whole Adam Hazley story so far has been a disappointment, and you hate to see it because I'd like nothing more for this guy to succeed. Anybody on this team, you hear me knock anybody on this team, just understand that I would like nothing better to have these guys succeed. It helps our team. It helps our team win. I don't want to see these guys fail. Now, if you're going to, looking at a guy at the Mets, like Alonzo McNeil, I want to see those guys fail when they're playing us, but I want to see these guys hit home run every single time they go up to the plate. No question. I know that's unrealistic, of course, obviously. But I want to see these guys kill it every single time they're in a Phillies uniform. No question about it. So it's definitely upsetting for me to see the guys fail. It just is. There's no question about that. But Brad Miller come out the bench and collecting it. He needed that. He's been kind of ice cold. I remember the game I went to against the Mets April 6th. Went 0 for 4, I believe. Yeah, 0 for 4 strikeouts. That was a really, really rough game for Brad Miller. Aaron Nola's gets his first loss of the season. 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all 3 were earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. You saw the 7 strikeouts, but you saw Chase Anderson game 1 go 4 innings, 2 runs. You saw Aaron Nola game 2 went 5 innings, 3 earned runs. So not a lot of production out of starting pitching in these 2 ball games. And Aaron Nola, he was doing much better early in the ball game. And once he hit that bottom 4th inning, he started to lose it, as I talked about before. Aaron Nola's not best start last night. This was not Aaron Nola's start last night. It was not his night. Last night was a rough one for him. But everyone has off nights, right? I always talk about that, and you can't be too hard on him. But man, that was rough. Spencer Howard, welcome back, makes his 2021 debut. He goes an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 was earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So welcome back to the big leagues. Right? I would like nothing more to have this guy succeed. He's our top prospect. We need this guy to step it up. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, it's a tough game yesterday. A tough 2 games to the Phillies yesterday. We all know we go game to game here at Phillies House still, but it's just a tough way to begin this 4-game series. You have 2 games, 2 losses, and the doubleheaders just continue to haunt the Phillies. It's just like I've never seen a team squander so many doubleheader opportunities. It's just like it's so bad. I've never seen a team play so poorly in doubleheaders. I don't understand what it is. I don't know what their disconnect is there. But I mean, I always used to think it was our bullpen back in 2020. I'm like, the bullpen, I mean, just we don't have a lot of assets in that bullpen, and they're just getting overworked. But you know what? I mean, our bullpen is much better this year. At least we thought it would be. I mean, it wasn't like the first 6 games of the season, but the Phillies' struggles continue on the road too. Imagine if we didn't win that game on Sunday. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If we did not win that game on Sunday, we'd be 0 for 5 in the last 5 games. We'd be on a 5-game losing streak right now. Nevertheless, we've lost 4 of our last 5. So, I mean, that's not very good. I mean, that's not very good at all. So the Phillies, in their first slump of the season, fall out of first place. The Mets now are in first place. But we need to wake up. The Washington Nationals lose to the St. Louis Cardinals. They got destroyed. I mean, you thought that, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought that Aaron Nola's start was bad last night, I mean, go take a look at Steven Strasburg of the Washington Nationals. He got lit up last night. I mean, he got slacked with that loss, man. That was just brutal for Steven Strasburg of the Washington Nationals. I mean, he only goes 4 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs. Only 7 of them were earned, 5 walks and 3 strikeouts. I mean, that was a much worse line than Aaron Nola. But even the Nationals having a little bit of some struggles. You saw they got Yan Gomes and Josh Bell and I believe somebody else back. And then they just lost John Lester again. So the Nationals having a bit of some trouble there. I mean, I think this is different than 2019, right? I mean, they don't have Anthony Rendon anymore. Strasburg doesn't seem healthy. They're 2-6. So you think the Phillies? I mean, we could be in a much worse spot, ladies and gentlemen. We could be like the Washington Nationals, be 2-6, but you got to learn to not count the Nationals out. I counted them out in 2019, and they ended up winning the World Series. So anything can happen in baseball. We all know that. But the Nationals not off to the best start. You can say that. They're not off to a very good start, but it's still very early. Wow. Just wow. I mean, I just hate losing. I think we all know that. And I don't think anyone likes to lose, but especially against smacked with that double L. The Braves lose, which is good. They got smacked around by the Marlins, 14-8, a slugfest last night at Atlanta. So wow, I mean, that was crazy, right? You see the Braves lose, so that's always nice to see. They are now 4-7. So the Mets, I think the Mets are critically overrated too. So I mean, this division so far hasn't been as good as people said it was, right? I mean, there's no question about that. You see the Nats are struggling. I understand they've kind of had some issues though with the players, being out because of the virus, but the Braves don't look great. They've been kind of off to a rocky start. The Phillies, they start off really hot. They've been strong in the past 5. The Marlins, they're only 4-6. So, I mean, this division, to see the Mets, I mean, I think they're kind of floating around 500 too. So, this division is just not as good as everyone said it was going to be, but it's still so early, right? It's only April 14th, ladies and gentlemen, so it's so early in the season to start pointing fingers and making accusations. But, I mean, just so far, almost halfway through the month of April, it's been a kind of a disappointing NL East, right? It's just been kind of it's not been as much of a juggernaut as people said it was going to be, but you had to win at least one of those 2 games, and you did not do it. The Phillies' struggles continue to doubleheaders. Clean up the defense. Stop trying to be the hero, Didi Gregorius. You got to catch the routine. You got to catch those fly balls. Adam Hayes, I understand that was not a fly ball, but you just got to try to make the play. So clean up the mistakes. Clean up the mistakes, Phillies. Starting runner scoring position. We need to do that. Zach Wheeler on the mound today. Honestly, I feel more confident with Zach Wheeler on the mound today and with Aaron Nola. That's really saying something. I mean, that's really saying something. Wheeler 1-1 with a 2.31 ERA. Did struggle his last start, though, against the Atlanta Braves. Did get hit around a little bit. Going against David Peterson, who's had a rough start to his season, 0-1 with a 13.50 ERA. So hopefully the Phils can get a win here. I mean, you hate to see, I understand we got 2 games left. You hate to see us get swept out in the series. You just really would. We're lucky to win just one of these next 2 games because we're going to have to face DeGrom tomorrow. So most likely, odds are not in our favor to win this series. I was hoping going into the series to get a split, and it looks like in the end we're going to lose the series as we're going to have a really rough road trip. We need to start winning on the road. I mean, I've been saying that a lot. We need to start winning on the road. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Hats on Instagram, TikTok, for next Instagram. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshotsstove@gmail.com. Guys, it's really important that you subscribe to this channel. Recap every single Phillies game. So, guys, 7:10, the first pitch tonight in Queens. Zach Wheeler on the mound going against David Peterson. I am Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phillies. Let's get a win here tonight. I'll see you guys.